Hello, thank you for tuning into the How to Training video series for Mission Control. In this training video, I'll be going over the project order generation feature and how you can set it up. So the project order generation feature, it allows you to have projects generated based on information you specify on the opportunity. And it requires some things to be set up before you can utilize that functionality. You need to make sure that you have permissions on the opportunity and the product object for some fields as well as some related lists. And you also need to make sure that you have permissions to create projects and its related records. So I'll go over how you can assign what permissions are required for that and how you can assign them. And we have default permission sets that you can use. I'll also go over the different fields on the opportunity object as well as the product object and some related lists and how you can add those into the page layouts. I'll also go over how you can create products. So there's two different ways you can create them, and I'll go through the steps for both of them and how you can create price books, and then you'll be able to associate those products to the opportunities and then use the product-based generation methods. Lastly, I'll be going over two settings that are available within Mission Control. And the first one, which allows you to transfer the Salesforce record ownership to the person who initiated the auto generation process. I'll talk about some use cases for that and when you want to enable that setting. And I'll also talk about field mapping and how you can have data from the opportunity carried over to the project. And before we jump into the demo, we can talk about the project unit value and how that affects the outcome or the amount of hours that you'll see on the new milestones that get generated whenever you're using the product-based generation methods. So the project unit field is found on the product object as well as the product milestones objects, which is a related list found on the product object itself. So there's three values for it. Let's start with source. The source value does not take into account the quantity value that you specify on the opportunity line item. What it'll do instead is it'll copy over the exact hours that are specified on the template milestone that you've set on the product object. And it'll copy that exactly as it is onto the new milestone. So let's take the example of template milestone where you've got three actions, 4 hours, 4 hours, and 2 hours respectively. So it'll copy over the exact same amount of hours on the milestones that get the actions that get cloned on the new milestone of the new project. So it'll be 4 hours, 4 hours, and 2 hours respectively. We've got hours next as the project unit value, and you can define the total amount of hours on the line item of a product. So for example, I add in a product where I set the quantity as 4. This means that 4 will be divided amongst the actions of the new milestone that is associated on this product. So in this example, we've got 3 actions, 6 hours, 3 hours, and 3 hours respectively. So their distribution of hours on the template milestone is 50%, 25%, and 25% of the total. So this means 4 hours in total will be multiplied by that percentage of each action to figure out the hours on the new milestone. So in this case, on the new milestone, we would expect to see 2 hours, 1 hour, and 1 hour each on those 3 actions. Similar to the hours value, we've got a day value, which works quite similarly, except the total hours are calculated a little bit differently. So in the quantity value, you'll specify on the opportunity line, you'll be specifying the number of days. So in this case, if we specify 3 days, it's going to multiply that by 8 hours in a regular working day and give you a total hours of 24. Now those 24 hours will be distributed amongst the actions of the new milestone based on the weightage of the actions on the template milestone. So in this example, we've got 4 actions where it's 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, and 1 hour each. And so their distribution of hours is 50%, 25%, 12.5%, and 12.5% of the totals. So the new milestone will calculate the hours on the new actions based on those percentages by multiplying it with the total hours, and you'll get 12 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours, and 3 hours respectively. All right, let's jump into the demo now. All right, so the first step is to assign permissions, and I'm on the setup page right now. From here, I can use the quick find and look up users. From there, I can open up my user and then assign myself the permissions. So I'll be using the out-of-the-box permission sets that come with Mission Control. So from the permission set assignments quick link, I can go into edit assignments, and then I can look up the Mission Control full permission set. So Mission Control full permission set will grant me full access to the application, and that includes the access to create, edit, delete project records and related records. I'll also need access to the opportunity and the product fields. So I'm using this permission set. So I have access to those fields now, but I still need to make sure those are visible on my page layout. So from here, I'll go into the object manager and I'll look up opportunity and product. So for the opportunity object, I'll go into the page layout section and then I'll select the page layout that's assigned to my profile. From here, I will use the section component, drag that onto the page layout, and then rename this to project auto generation. And then now I can add in fields over there. So first up, I'll use the generation method here. I'll use the product start date here, project template, and generate project. So I've got those fields in there. And now I can move to the next part, which is adding in related list. So from the related list at the top, I can add in the products related list, and I can also add in the projects related list. So that's all the that's all of the fields in the related list that we need here. I can click save and move on to the product object. Again, I'll go to the page layouts, select the page layout assigned to my profile. And from here, I'll add in a section. I can now add in the project unit field to this section and the milestone template field. Up next, we'll go to the related list, and then I'll add in the product milestones related list. And using the properties icon here, I can add in the milestone and the project unit field. You also want to make sure that you've got the standard price in the price books, as that'll be useful when we're creating the products. So now that those changes have been made, I can go to an opportunity or the product record, refresh, and see those changes come through. So this is an opportunity record I've got here. I'll refresh. And I can now see that the section has been added along with those fields, as well as the related list. So I'll quickly populate some details here. So we'll be using the products generation method. I'll select a template and I'll set the start date, and we'll leave that unchecked for now. The next step when using any of the product-based generation methods is to assign products. And let's look at how you can create products and assign them to the opportunity. So now I'm on the products list view, and as you can see, I've got two different types of products here. So I've got some products where the milestone template is and the project unit field has been populated, whereas I've got some where it's not populated, and that's because you can create products in two different ways. The first way is to populate those fields, and this will allow you to add in one milestone template that is associated with this product. If you need to add in multiple milestones associated with one product, you use the related list on the product. So let's look at how you can create both. So first up, we'll do the milestone template from the product itself. So I'll create a product for support milestone, and I'll look up a milestone that associates with a project that is a template. So support. So now I've got a product, and I can move to the related list and set up price books for it so that they can be associated with the opportunities. So now I'll add this to price book. So now this product is ready to be associated with different opportunities, and you can use it in the auto generation process now. I'll also create a product with multiple different milestone templates and what we call as a bundle. So click new again, and we'll say, so as you can see, I've got a gold and bronze implementation bundle. I'll go ahead and create a silver implementation bundle. So I won't be populating any of these fields because we'll be using the related list. So click new. And from here, I'll just need to populate those same fields for milestone and the project unit value. So I'll set this to source, and I need the setup milestone from the, so I've already set up a project template, and this is where it's coming in from. So that's setup. I can now go ahead and create a price book for it. So now this can also be used in the opportunity as opportunity line items on the opportunity. So now I can go ahead and associate these products. So if I go to the products related list on the opportunity, I can click on add products. And as you can see, I've got a TNM support and MC Silver implementation bundle. So I can add that in, specify a quantity value here. Save. Now when I click the set the generate project field as true, click save, a project will be generated because I've populated all the right information that it needs. This will initiate the auto generation process, and in a few seconds I should be able to see my project come through. Because we use the Silver implementation bundle that had 3 different milestones, I've got those 3 different milestones along with the actions. There's a few settings in the mission control console. So if you go to the mission control console and then the control pad, first up, you'll see the auto generation field mapping, and this allows you to create a field mapping from the opportunity to the project object, so that any fields on the, if there's any data on the opportunity record that you want transferred over to the project that gets generated, you can make sure those fields are aligned. So for example, we've got description field here, so maybe there's some text field from the text data that you need to have pulled over from the opportunity onto the project. You can use that here. Just one thing to note here is that any fields on the project that are listed here will only be based on the same field type. So if this is a text field, this will only display text field. If this is a number field, it will only display number fields. So just keep that in mind when you're mapping these fields in here. You can also do the same for the project if you're auto-generating from the project request object. You can click save and that field mapping will be saved, and then that data will be transferred over when you generate a project. There's a setting here. There's another setting here which you can use to control the record owner, and it's found under the project automation settings. So if you scroll down further, there's a setting called transfer clone records to running user. And this is useful when you want to transfer the record ownership to someone else when you're doing the auto generation process. So if I go over here, I've got a template project here that is used for the auto generation process sometimes. And over here, you can see that the Salesforce record owner is Chris. And so this is what it's in reference to. It's not referencing the role project owner in terms of the role record. It's referencing the user that owns the record. So if I were to auto generate using this project template with that setting disabled, Chris would still be the new owner on that project. If I were to have this setting checked over here, like I have here, and I were to auto generate the project or auto generate a project using this template, I would be the new owner because I initiated that process. This is useful in case you need to transfer ownership to the person who's initiating the process, or if the person who set up the project templates has an inactive user, you may run into issues. So you want to make sure the setting is enabled and it transfers that ownership to the person who's initiating the auto generation process. All right, so that covers just about everything in regards to the setup process for the auto generation feature in Mission Control. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us via support tickets on our website or at the support@oprika.com email. We have a very strong and detailed user guide and knowledge base, as well as a learning portal. And we also cover all the other generation methods in our other training videos that you can review on our website. All right, thanks for tuning in, and see you in the next one.